love hearing that sound. So the Granturismo makes for a great daily driver. So normally my daily driver is my C7 Corvette, but that car's been on the garage, so I'm doing a full wrap on that car. So there's a lot of panels I got to remove, and I've been taking my time with it. So in the meantime, I've been driving around on the Granturismo, and this is a car that I would normally drive once a week, once every 2 weeks, just around town. But this car really does make for a great daily driver. It's a very comfortable car, being a Grand Tour, and I actually prefer the ride of this car. It just rides smoother, quieter, and I love hearing that exhaust. So that exhaust is it's really unique, really special. I'm a huge fan of a naturally aspirated engine, and a great sound just adds to the driving experience. I really like how it's got these huge paddles. That sound it just doesn't get old. It still brings emotion when I get to drive it around the side roads. I feel like this car's like the last of its kind. It's a great Grand Tour. To this day, this car still looks great, even though it was in production from 08 to 2019. Another thing that makes this car a great daily driver is that it's a very reliable car. So this is a 2014, and I haven't had any problems with it since it was brand new. Hasn't even had any recalls, no warranty work done. So that's very important. When you want to daily drive a car, you need it to be reliable. So that's a great thing about this car. That and I think reliability also has to do with how simple this car is as far as the technology. It doesn't even have turbos. Another thing about turbos is they're more complex. So as a vehicle gets older, it's more prone to problems just because of the extra components involved in the turbo. The fuel system is the old style multi-port injection, 6-speed transmission, just your normal style 6-speed transmission. This one does not have a dual clutch or a single clutch. I forget which ones the MC uses. I think it's a single clutch. So this car's not really meant to be a race car. It's not the fastest out there. It has 454 horsepower, but I still think it's like the best of both worlds, for being how I can just drive it around, cruise around, and just chill. But then I can put it on sport mode, and it just has a different character to it, because it's still a sports car. The sport mode makes the suspension stiff. Keeps the gears at a higher RPM, so I get to hear more of that engine noise, so that the throttle becomes more responsive. So I've owned a couple vehicles, and I'm just not a fan of the sedans. I love the coupes, and that's one thing I really like about this one, that it has 4 seats. It was one of the reasons why I decided to buy this car, is that it had seats in the back, and the seats are actually usable. They're unlike a lot of cars that have seats in the back, but they're only good enough for like a kid. So this one can actually fit 2 adults on the back. I'm starting to see higher mileage Granturismos, and I think that's great. People are driving them, and it's also proof of the vehicle's reliability.